have the World, the Knight of Cups, the Chancellor of Daggers, the Eight of Wands in reverse, and Divine. This is High Priestess energy. Okay, you are definitely a person who is great at dreaming up new ideas, new possibilities, reinventing yourself, and really gifted at reinventing circumstances around you. So you can really make a lot of change. It feels like you are a highly intuitive person with this Knight of Cups energy here, and also this High Priestess energy. Your intuition is on point. So you might pursue something where you can kind of use your intuitive abilities a little bit, but I feel like you use these all the time, very, very naturally. You might not even realize that you're doing it. You are someone who's extremely compassionate when it comes to just being gentle and being understanding with those around you. You demonstrate a lot of compassion to all of the people in your life. I think no matter what role they play in your life, even if they are an acquaintance, you're still extremely empathetic and compassionate toward people who come into your orbit. You're just a nice sweetheart, it looks like. You know, the energy I'm getting from this is like you're really good at making things beautiful. So that could point to an artistic side that you have. You might love to decorate, or you might love to like apply makeup or style hair. It might not be anything so precise like that. It might be, because I am picking up on this too, that you're just really gifted when it comes to seeing the beauty in others. So I think you're someone who can notice unique qualities and really appreciate differences in people. You might have kind of a love and a passion for a lot of different cultures, and just appreciating like different traditions, different forms of dress, different languages. That can be another area that you excel. You might be really gifted when it comes to learning new languages. It looks like you also are somebody who's able to see things very objectively and bring a lot of clarity to situations. This is sort of interesting and opposing energy, and I think this makes you very, very special. With this Knight of Cups energy, we have this more artistic side, this side of you that is a little bit more abstract in a way. Like you can thrive in abstract areas of thought. You can be more artistic. You can operate in an area that's not so like clean cut, not so cut and dried, not so logical in a way, more subjective. But you also have this side of you that allows you to have a lot of clarity, and it also kind of puts you in a leadership position. You are showing up here as the Knight and the Chancellor, which is Queen energy. So it is mature energy, and it's energy that takes action on things. I think that you are someone who would be great in a leadership role because you are really smart, and not only that, you're very honest and you can be quite decisive when you need to. So you have a way of pinpointing the problem and knowing what to do to fix it. You can really look at any situation and bring a lot of clarity to it. You can find the area where it went wrong, what needs to be tweaked, what the plan is for the next time. It's very easy for you to do that, and I feel like for you, this might be a matter of combining that skill with a more artistic pursuit, if that's something that really jumps out at you as what you want to do with your life. So again, I'm going back to this idea of like you styling something, like being involved in the fashion industry in some way, or in the beauty industry in some way, or some sort of design. It's like you can walk into a room and say, well, the problem is the bed is in the wrong place. That's why this room doesn't feel right. The bed needs to be on that wall. Or what would really bring a lot more character to this space is if we painted that accent wall. Or, well, the issue is your shoes don't match. Your purse or whatever, whatever it is. It's like you can easily decipher what the problem is. And the reason I use those kind of examples is because I do think that there's an artistic side to you. So you might use this ability to kind of like figure out exactly what the problem is in a more artistic form. But if you don't resonate with that side of like the artistic side that I am picking up on, then you might just kind of live in that more logical side of yourself. Like you still are very precise and can pinpoint a problem and can know exactly what to do to fix it. You just might use that in different areas. You might use that in writing, which is another very artistic form of expression, but I feel like if you are a writer, you might not even see it that way. Like you see it as a very precise endeavor, and you know, like, this is what's wrong with this sentence, I'm going to fix it. But yeah, there's something about you that you can really figure out exactly what needs to be tweaked, and you can come up with the method to do that. So you're very efficient at everything you do, and you get right to the point, and you get things done. Like you're somebody who will really get stuff moving, get it done, get it checked off the list, get on to the next thing. You're extremely gifted when it comes to researching and getting all of the facts in order. So if there's like something that needs to be looked into, and like I'm feeling like you're that person that plans the trip. Like you're going on a vacation with your friends, and you want to know like what there is to do, or how much it's going to cost to get there, or what the best form of travel is. Everyone's going to be kind of looking to you for that information because you're so good at digging up these little facts and organizing everything in a way that people can understand, and in a way that it's easily accessible so everybody can reference it. So you're really, really gifted when it comes to that. It's like you have a nice balance of emotion and logic when it comes to making decisions. So you put a lot of thought into everything that you do, and you will use that emotional side of yourself when necessary in your decision making, and you will use that very logical and reasonable, level-headed side of yourself when necessary too. You know how to balance those two out. This Eight of Wands in reverse is really letting me know that you don't rush ahead until everything is right. So if there's something that needs to be researched, if there's more information that needs to be gained, you're not going to just rush into decisions. You're going to make sure that you have a full view, a full vision of what the goal is before you make any move. So it's very thoughtful, it's very methodical. I think you do this in a reasonable time frame, because we were talking about like you get things done. So you don't, it's not like you hang in this area of needing to make a decision for too long. You are able to compile all of the facts, to do your research, and to get the information you need in a timely manner, and then you use it to make sure that you're making good choices. I think people look to you for that. They depend on you for that. They might run ideas by you because they know that you make good, sound choices. There's a really high quality to everything that you do. There's a thoughtful, crafted, and meticulous, perfected nature to everything that you do. Yeah, there's a lot there. There's a lot there. I think you'd be good at a lot of things, and I think that you, again, are highly intuitive. The World card could suggest that whatever it is that you want to do could have like a huge impact on a global scale. So that could be true, and there's a lot to sink our teeth into already, so a lot of possibilities. Let's look into your oracle cards and see what information they have. So we have the Poet. Okay, for some of you this could literally be that you write poetry, or you're a writer of some kind. We had already kind of touched on that, and it does seem like a really great mix of your creative side and your logical, pragmatic side. So for some of you, that's it, and that's your best course, is to be a writer of some sort. It makes sense. You are very creative and artistic, and you have this romantic kind of side to your personality, and then you're also someone who's really good at communicating ideas and compiling facts. So if that doesn't say writer, I don't know what does. Of course, you have a lot of different options. So this card talks about feeling deeply and at the same time not being afraid. So you're someone who speaks up for injustices in the world. We were kind of talking about this with the Knight of Cups energy and the Chancellor of Daggers energy. You feel and you're very compassionate, but you also are a great communicator, and you're not afraid to stand up and to speak out. So if there is an injustice happening right in front of your face, you are someone who will speak up. You could be someone who speaks up through writing, through poetry. It could be any form of writing. You could write articles bringing attention to certain injustices. So maybe being a journalist would be a great idea for you. You could also write poetry where you're kind of approaching that injustice or that social issue that you want to bring attention to from a more feeling, emotional, compassionate way, and really helping people to tap into the emotion of what's going on in that area. Really interesting. I think you are definitely someone who gives people a voice. People who've been oppressed, people who have been disadvantaged in some way, you give them a voice. The poet shows deep honesty and reflection, so yeah, it really, yeah. It's funny that this card is like, it's kind of the perfect way to sum up this Knight of Cups and this Chancellor of Daggers energy. Because it really is about feeling and then about doing something about it. So back to that intuitive nature that you have, feeling your way through things, kind of just getting an intuitive knowing about something, and then knowing exactly how to pinpoint what to do to fix it. Another area that's kind of standing out for me is maybe going into law of some kind, where you can speak out for social injustices and make a difference. That seems great for you. It seems like you do want to make a difference. I think your compassion makes you a perfect candidate for this. So just that compassionate energy. Let's jump into more of your oracle cards. We'll see what else we can get, but I do think this Knight of Cups energy and that compassion, it could point to kind of a career in law. We have protection, and we have patience. I accept that everything happens in divine order. Yes, with this protection card, also with the patience card, I am feeling a sense of like, that a legal field might be the perfect blend of all of your skills, because I think that through practicing law, you could provide that protection for others. It's like you do want to do something to help people that haven't necessarily always had a voice, and it's like you could create change through some kind of legal field. I also get from this patience card, and also from the Eight of Wands, that this is about that meticulous nature that you have, and you have the ability to work on the same project for a really long time. And that kind of like makes me think of a court case. So court cases are things that can go on for years, and there's again a lot of writing involved in the legal field, writing up different briefs and presenting information to people, so really compiling facts and a lot of data, but it can take a long time to see that change, and it feels like you have the patience and like you have the consistency to stick through it, to see it all the way to the end. If it's something that's going to impact people on a greater scale, if it's going to bring about the change that you feel passionate about, you will stick with it. And I think that is an area where you demonstrate a lot of patience. The funny part is I'm kind of like picking up on, maybe some of you don't feel like you are patient at all. And it's like, I think you have patience when it comes to certain things, and in other ways you might be extremely impatient. I think when it's something that matters to you, if it's going to take a long time, I think it's like you'd rather it happen fast. But if it can't happen fast, then your next best course of action is to make sure it happens at all, and you'll stick with it. We've got 2 more oracle cards. Let's see what they have to say. We have Trust the Niggle. So this is what is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? So this is about just that that inner knowing, that part of you that kind of knows and feels called, pulled, and drawn towards something. It's kind of bringing me back to this High Priestess energy, and just kind of the idea that you are highly intuitive, so you probably already know what this thing is, and it's just a matter of trusting that, it's a matter of trusting yourself, really. It's a message to follow your heart, and it's about kind of bringing all of the different parts of yourself together. If you look at this card, you'll see that she's actually showing up in 3 different ways. And I think for you, this career path is about bringing together a lot of your different skills and your different gifts and putting them into one thing, letting yourself express on all levels, but through one path. So as an example, it doesn't have to be this, but like we were talking about in the legal field, if you are able to notice that there's an injustice, you feel compassion for people, you kind of use your intuition to guide you towards these issues, and you use this sensitive part of yourself to feel deeply, and then you start doing something about it. You start using your patience and your meticulous nature to do something about it. You pinpoint the issue, and you use these very logical and objective parts of your brain to compile information, to communicate ideas, and to push for that change. So that's just one example. We could kind of do the same thing with the poet, but it just shows like you're using all these different facets of yourself to come together and do something that really feeds your soul. Let's look at your last card. We have Sun. So this is source energy. I think the Sun card is really appropriate, especially when we're talking about feeding your soul, because the Sun really represents that source energy and that life force. So this is, whatever you choose to do is going to be something that feels like it breathes life into you. I feel like you're not going to be able to do it unless it breathes life into you. You might not even find the patience to do it unless there is that kind of reward on the other end. I think that for some of you, this could be a field that you want to go into that's highly competitive or requires a lot of schooling, and that it's a little bit daunting to you. There's just kind of that bit of doubt coming through. It's going to require you to utilize all these aspects of yourself like we were talking about, so it could be that you might think that some of these are at odds with each other. Like you have these certain giftings, but you don't see how they come together into one thing. But it seems to me that you're going to figure that out, figure out a way to use that more tender creative side and compassionate side and mix that with the more logical side of yourself. What I love about this Sun card is the Sun card says, the sun's light shines through the teacher, the actor, the lover, the leader, and those who use their enthusiasm, warmth, and charisma for a common good. So this really shows you stepping into your light and taking center stage. And it shows me that you're going to have a lot of success at whatever you do. This could be an indication as to some other professions that would be great for you, teacher, actor. I think you are born to lead, like to pave new ways for people to think about things. And so I think whatever it is that you do, it's going to change people's minds, and that's the most important thing to you. Whether you're communicating through some form of poetry, or you're acting in a film or in a play, or you're bringing about social change, you're going to change the way that people look at things, and I think that's the most important thing to you. So wow, I'm very, very impressed by you. And I think that you really will come up with a way to combine all of these ways that you're gifted into one thing. And I think for a lot of you, that really is that you have a really creative side to you, and you have such a deep feeling side to you, but you're also extremely logical. So It's actually a beautiful combination. It might be a little confusing at first, but it's a beautiful combination. So I think that's all that I see for you. I'm going to leave your reading here. I really enjoyed hanging out with you and reading your cards. If you liked this video, don't forget to like it and leave me a comment down below, and subscribe if you feel like doing it, and I will see you in another video sometime soon. Bye!